It's only a week into 2026, and we have a whole bunch of new tech to look forward to this year that was shown off at CES. I don't know if it's just me, but CES feels bigger, and it seems like a lot more stuff is being announced this year. Although most of it is AI stuff, there are a bunch of really cool, innovative new gaming tech gadgets. Now, I've looked at everything and created my own curated list of the craziest new products that are coming out. Asus ROG XR R1 XR glasses. I don't know about you all, but I've been waiting for the AR XR glasses that don't compromise on video quality or latency. I'm sure I'm not the only one who dreams of being able to leave my desk and play games in bed, in the bathroom, or anywhere I want to. Not to mention being able to play full games during commute or on the go. The Asus ROG XR R1 XR glasses bring that dream to reality with micro OLED prism projection delivering you gaming monitor quality 1080p at 240Hz. Early reports suggest that in fast-paced shooters, there is zero motion blur or nausea, which has been the biggest issue with other completely replace your monitor glasses. It also comes with a control dock that lets you quickly change sources without needing to mess around with unplugging and replugging. These genuinely look like they can recreate the quality of an actual gaming monitor, and I can't wait to get my hands on them so I can enjoy a complete experience on long train rides. Asus ROG Zephyrus Duo. The Zephyrus series laptops have always had a second screen, but the second screen is one large enough for some sort of toolbar or Spotify player, and most people did not see the utility in it. This year, Zephyrus took it to the next level by having two 16-inch 3K HDR OLED screens stacked on top of each other, and the laptop is able to run games on it, being able to handle up to a 5090 GPU. Dual monitor setups are popular for a reason, and I'm a dual monitor user as I love to watch YouTube videos while I'm doing my daily grind. So this is probably the best solution for those gamers who need to bring their computers on the go. The hinge is large and heavy duty, so you don't have to worry about overuse damage. And it comes with a large kickstand, so you can use the laptop as a vertically stacked twin monitor system. Asus ROG GM100 PC case. If you're a gamer of expensive taste and style, then this case should be calling to you. The coolest feature here is the holographic display on the glass siding. It uses the spinning fan holograph style. It's not a fan that cools the system, it's purely cosmetic, but with it you can have transparent graphics that seem to swoop and move around the inside of the case. It uses ROG's new tri-cooling chambers, giving better airflow with all these massive AIO fans, and these fans push out a lot of cool air. The top AIO fans are powerful enough to keep ping pong balls floating. It's an absolutely massive case, larger than the torsos of most people, and thus it's able to handle full-size extended ATX motherboards and the largest of 5090 graphics cards. This case exists purely to style on others, and although I haven't seen any price tags yet, it's pretty clear it's going to be well out of my budget. Corsair Gallion 100 SD keyboard. I'm personally not a streamer, so I have never had the need for a Stream Deck, but this keyboard is making me reconsider. Corsair literally just glued an entire Stream Deck Plus to the side of a nice mechanical keyboard. Despite how it looks and sounds, this setup does have many advantages. First off, the deck has 12 customizable OLED display buttons, a 5-inch display window, and 2 media knobs. With this, you can actually integrate this with games, not just use it for streaming. I'm a Star Citizen player, and they demoed the feature using Star Citizen, allowing players to assign power engines, shield, etc., and binding them onto the macro keys instead of having to remember if the U button turned on engines for power. And with the dual media knobs, you could key one to control overall volume and the other to control specifically Spotify volume, and I think you can think of all the utility that one simple addition brings. So if you're a streamer or not, this is a keyboard you should keep an eye out for. Lenovo Rollable Screen Gaming Laptop Concept. Lenovo's been talking about this concept for a while now. But actually seeing a working prototype seems to have had a very positive response. Although it's just a prototype for the concept, it's still very exciting and something to look forward to. Basically, do you wish that your laptop was ultra-wide without, of course, the downsides of carrying around such a wide laptop base? With a rollable screen, the laptop starts off as a 16 by 10, and with a press of a button, it rolls out into a full 29 by 9 ultra-wide. Although this feature isn't implemented in the prototype, Lenovo plans to have a dynamic resolution system where you can finally control how wide you want the screen to roll out, and Windows will output to the precise resolution you want. Gamers love widescreen, and I'm sure this tech will only become more popular as it actually releases. And it'll have better support in graphics tech in the future when it releases, which may be many years down the line. Nvidia DLSS 4.5. DLSS and FrameGen have been a somewhat controversial subject for gamers. I personally prefer it, as my plebeian eyes aren't sensitive enough to be disgusted by fake frames, and I prefer them over having low-resolution shadows and staircasing. Now, onto what DLSS 4.5 offers. It's actually a rather huge generational leap in quality that we haven't seen since DLSS 2. First off, DLSS is being retrained at even higher resolutions so that it learns details and effects with supreme sharpness and detail. Some even say the distant details and especially particle effects appear better and sharper with DLSS over native resolution. And there's the 6x multi-frame generation, which doesn't sound that great to a lot of you, but the way they implemented it is pretty ingenious. Basically, it's a dynamic generation system where the frame generation increases whenever FPS drops or stutters, maintaining a smooth FPS even during heavy loads. If I had to choose between generated frames or dropped frames, well, I'm choosing the generated ones. GameSir Swift Drive Controller. This is probably the most unique controller I've ever seen since controllers have been standardized by the PS3 and 360. It looks like a standard gamepad, but right smack in the center there is a fully functional steering wheel. When I first saw it, I had initially dismissed it as a cheap gimmick, but the tech in the steering wheel is actually legit. The wheel has direct drive baked in, meaning that every degree you turn the wheel, it's a 1:1 in direct input into the car or whatever vehicle you're driving. It's not faking it by just being a glorified analog stick as many cheap controllers do. On top of that, it has a magnetic force feedback, meaning the wheel itself will move around depending on the feedback from the game. So if you're racing and you accidentally hit a wall, the wheel in your thumbs will powerfully jerk to the side, allowing you to finally feel the response of your environment and how it interacts with a vehicle's drive. GameSir HyperX X5 Outrun Controller. Mobile controllers are usually dismissed as low-quality casual hardware, but the X5 feels premium in the hand. It's a modular controller which seems to be getting more and more popular recently. You can physically pull the thumbstick modules out and swap them around, converting it from an Xbox offset layout to a PlayStation symmetrical layout. You can buy other modules for it, such as a Steam Deck-style thumbpad or modules that gimmick the GameCube, or a side effect with 6 face buttons for fighting games. It has a strong, long spring mechanism allowing it to attach to smartphones, tablets, and even a Nintendo Switch. The buttons utilize a mechanical switch, pressure-sensitive triggers, and high-quality analog sticks, making this a high-end controller you can toss into your bag and bring it with you. It can be used for console, PC, mobile, or Switch gaming. It's insanely versatile. 8-bit dough flip pad. This one is for those retro gamers who want the convenience of a mobile retro emulation, but also want the tactile command and feedback of physical buttons. It's a small attachment for your phone, where you plug it into the USB-C port of your phone and you flip it up so that it's pressed against the bottom half of your phone screen. And now it's turned into a pocket Game Boy. Now the controls here are fairly limited, with a D-pad, 4 face buttons, start select, 2 macro buttons, and 4 extra buttons along the top you can use for triggers and bumpers. But don't think you'll be able to tap A while holding down R2 because of their placement. The design is clearly inspired by the Game Boy Color, which makes it clear what the intended purpose of this device is. If you wanted something lightweight and simple, that'll let you play those simple games or emulate your Game Boy or SNES favorites, this is built specifically for your small niche. 8-bit Do Ultimate 3E. It sounds boring to get excited about a standard-looking controller, but the 3E is what I'd consider to be an ultra-luxury controller. It takes all the ideas of many popular third-party controllers and combines them. The faceplate is removable and customizable. The face buttons can be swapped between soft silicone and snappy mechanical. The D-pad can be a cross or a shield, and there are many options for thumbsticks. The handles are wider and have a silicone grip coating. It comes with a stylish wireless charging dock. It comes with an extra remappable bumper buttons and Hall-effect pressure-sensitive triggers that can swap between smooth for driving and snappy for gunplay with a switch. It has 6-axis motion control that you can modify and calibrate for precision aiming, and there are many more features here that I don't have time to list. If you're looking for the ultimate gaming controller, well, this is the one.
My name is Ava, your dedicated AI gamer co-pilot. From real-time
Razer Project Ava. This product is rather strange, and people will clown on it publicly, but privately keep an eye out for it. It's a little holographic glass cylinder that sits on your desk, projecting a 3D animated avatar that lives on your desktop. It's one of those AI-powered companion toys built for gamers. What do I mean by built for gamers? Well, other than it pretending to be your girlfriend, which it can also do, it's geared towards watching you play games and giving feedback. I think a lot of us have that fantasy of sitting with a partner and having them watch us play and react to it. And Ava is here to fulfill that. She'll compliment or roast your gameplay depending on what personality you give her. She'll also be able to look up and give you hints during gameplay, which would be extremely helpful with MMOs and vast RPGs, or even trying to troubleshoot problems you're having. Neuro HyperX Neuro Tech Headset. This isn't as scary as it originally sounds. This headset literally reads your mind using dry EEG sensors embedded in the fabric ear cushions. It's nothing invasive, and it can't read your thoughts or anything. The sensors track your focus, fatigue, and stress levels, displaying them on a software overlay while you play. The idea is to help pro gamers train their mental state, tracking their stats throughout a game and helping them identify if a missed shot or bad decision caused by stress or fatigue and how they can overcome it. It's a non-invasive tech that seemingly actually works, and it's a sports wearable tech meant to monitor your body, not so different from your smartwatch, but for your brain. Although it's not immediately useful for most normal gamers, I'm sure a lot of pros and high-ranking players are already thinking of picking it up to improve themselves. Razer Project Motoko. If Project Ava is like a desktop companion toy, Project Motoko is a full-on AI assistant, and its unique design adds it an over-ear pair of headphones, but inside is a Snapdragon processor with AI cores. It also contains dual cameras that see the world similarly to how we see it. In addition, it has a near-field microphone that only picks up what you're saying, and a far-field microphone that picks up sounds from the environment and speech from others, each a separate stream of information for the AI. This means the AI is always on and can give instant feedback. So for example, if you're cooking a dish, it'll watch you prepare it and give you the next step in the recipe the moment you finish the current step, or let you know when you've made a mistake. It's one of the more fluid and least robotic AI assistants I've seen, and it's basically your own personal Jarvis in your ear. Asus Kojima Productions gear. Now, this isn't new tech per se, it's just because it's Hideo Kojima. This redesign isn't just slapping the Kojima Productions logo onto a laptop, it's a complete visual redesign by the famous designer Yoji Shinkawa. Its design incorporates the studio's signature Luden's neo-industrial aesthetic. The centerpiece is an Asus ROG Flow 2-in-1, which features a fully custom CNC milled aluminum chassis with a custom typography and carbon fiber accents. It's also a surprising powerhouse with an AMD Ryzen AI Max, a Radeon AT60S, and 128GB of unified RAM shared between CPU and GPU. The collection extends to a full suite of peripherals, including the ROG Delta 2 headset, Kiri's 2 Origin mouse, and Scabbard 2 XXL mousepad. All feature a distinct white, gray, and gold color scheme with a collaborative tagline, "For Ludens who dare." It's a unified design aesthetic that you'll have to build the rest of your desk around, and it's all incredibly stylish and well designed. CyberPower PC Case. This is a serious jaw-dropper of a PC case that's more of a Kinetic sculpture art piece than just a PC case. The front of the case has white and gold triangular paneling that moves with servos. They can open and close to increase and decrease airflow to your PC, but that's not the real reason they exist. The panels move in specially designed patterns that mimic breathing and makes the case feel alive. I mean, you're seeing it on the B-roll footage. It looks incredible. On top of all that, the chassis itself is made from solid steel, and the insides are lined with sound dampening foam, meaning your high-end cooling system won't be having those jet engine decibel levels. If you want a setup that is truly impressive and artful, this case will speak to you. And now that we reached the limit of what traditional computer architecture could achieve, we've stopped seeing tech at CES that's just the previous generation, but faster. Although a lot of the stuff here is just the previous generation, but now with AI, we have seen a lot of genuine design and concept innovation. From tiny peripherals to your phone emulators, to high-tech and high-concept laptops, to artful and beautiful tech pieces. CES has us looking forward to this new era of technological and design innovation.